Everybody, and welcome to the Skin Whisperer Live. My name is Emily. I am the Skin Whisperer from Sunshine Botanicals, and I am so excited you guys are here with me tonight and here with my great friend, Cherie Calbom. Want to introduce my guest. I have a tremendous honor and privilege to interview my go-to person for nutrition that I've been to for years to introduce to you. Cherie Calbom is known as the Juice Lady throughout all of media. She is a celebrity nutritionist. She's the author of over 40 wellness and nutrition books and leads some pretty amazing retreats. Cherie Calbom is known as the Juice Lady. And Cherie and I were talking, and you know, it's a brand new year. It's 2018. We're talking about all the things we've been through, and especially right at the end of the year. And we were talking about all the things that we, mostly as women, but women and men, experience after the holidays. And we all probably ate a little too much. Sugar kind of went on the rise, and we're looking in the mirror going, oh, now what? In my skincare clinic, I have always taken a nutritional approach to correcting aging and problem skin conditions. And I have known for years that it really all goes back to the root foundation cause, which is the gut. And there's no better go-to person than the wellness guru herself, Cherie Calbom, to talk to us about inflammation, or as I call it so many times, inflammaging, because inflammation is the very root of all aging and problem skin conditions. It has many other names, many other identities, but inflammation is really what is. We hear a lot about it now, and I can't wait for Cherie to talk to us about it. She is the author of the Anti-Inflammatory Diet, and I would like to say Happy New Year and welcome Cherie.
Well, Happy New Year to you and everybody who's just coming on board, tuning in now. I see a lot of your names coming across my screen, and welcome to everybody that has joined Emily and me tonight. I'm so excited to talk about the anti-inflammatory diet. And of course, I'm known as the Juice Lady, and it all fits together because juicing is part of the anti-inflammatory diet. And what I know from my research is that there is a direct link between the gut and the skin. And of course, when we think of skin, we think of our face, right? I mean, we don't care as much about our arms or our hands as we do our face, what shows up for the world to see. And there is such a direct connection. And I'm excited that we're going to get into the specifics of this topic. And I'm glad you mentioned, Emily, that we came through the holiday season with a lot of inflammatory foods.
Yes.
And our top 3 inflammatory foods, well, 4. I'm going to put on the list. Sugar is number 1. Dairy, gluten, so all the grains that contain gluten and alcohol. Well, there's the holidays, and
there you go.
Right now it's showing up on a lot of people's faces. So we're going to get into what can you do? How can you get that all calmed down from your gut to your face, right?
Yes, ma'am. Cherie, I have a few questions. I've made some notes of things I would like to talk to you about. But before I mention that, I want to let all of our viewers know that we have a very exciting giveaway to share at the end of our program. About 8:30, we have a beautiful package. First of all, Cherie, would you please show our viewers your anti-inflammatory diet book? This is a must-have for your libraries, ladies, because if you know me at all, especially if you've ever met me, you know the first thing I talk about is juicing, and it will change your life, your gut, your health faster than anything I've ever tried, and it's really the foundation of good nutrition to me, and that's why Cherie's time with us tonight is so important. In addition to the book, we are giving away, here's the package, Cherie's book and 3 of Sunshine Botanicals. Let's see, let me make sure I get this in the right place. If you guys can see this, it's hard to do. But guys, this is my calming collection with our Soothing Creamy Cleanser, our Hydrating Recovery Mist, and Elixir, which is a veritable skin food, a beautiful skin fluid for hydration and basically putting the fire out on the skin. So you will have the how-to for the inside and the topical fire extinguisher to put the fire out topically. So that being said, Cherie, the questions I'm getting, seeing a lot of eczema. eczema and rosacea being, I think, almost epidemic, among other, hypersensitive skin conditions. Can you talk to us about how the gut and inflammation causes those skin conditions to occur?
Oh, I'm so glad to address this. And I've got some notes here myself because I've been doing some research on this. So there are studies and reports that directly show intestinal bacteria and things like rosacea and acne, or acne rosacea, it's called in some instances. And so as we began to cleanse our colon, and that is my mini cleanse, my 7-day cleanse program, we can notice that things began to abate, and the redness starts going away and our skin starts improving. So it is so important to work on that. But at the same time that we're working on our gut health with probiotics, with cleansing, with the fiber cleanse and getting that colon moving and calming it down, it is extremely important that we are eating an anti-inflammatory diet to bring that inflammation down. So
and what does that look like? What is a simple explanation of an anti-inflammatory diet?
So what you want are to get rid of the foods that are the worst offenders that we know of. And that is, I named them earlier, but a lot of people are just coming on right now. So I'm going to name them again. It's gluten and dairy and sugar. I'm going from bottom to top, I think, of the worst. I mean, the least to the worst, but don't consider any of them least, really. Sugar is horrible. For inflammation, horrible for your gut, horrible for your skin, and alcohol is there. As I did my research and I looked at some things today, there are, from one medical doctor, calls these things names for the face: dairy face, wine face, gluten face, sugar face, and it is for sure because those inflammatory foods show up on our face. It may show up with puffiness, with dark circles under the eyes, bags under the eyes, redness in the skin, acne, rosacea, acne, eczema. We want to attack all of that, calm everything down. And you are so right. Calm it from the outside, calm it from the inside. And I can tell you, of all the people I've worked with, when you do both, and especially working on what you're putting in your body, you are really going to see a difference. And you oftentimes right away.
Cherie, I'd like to tell you some experiences I've seen with your green juicing recipe with kelp, kale, Granny Smith apples, cucumbers, ginger and lemon and celery. You can ask Cherie, she'll give you the recipe, but it's amazing because it's so alkalizing to the system. And I have watched, and I have proven this to clients in my clinic again and again and again, that you can take 4 days. Now, this is my experience in my clinic, 4 days and come off sugar, wine, and, sugar, and wine and gluten for 4 days and apply, or just start, if you don't do anything, but this is my experience, 1 to 2 glasses of your green juice a day, the face loses 5 pounds. I mean, it's just amazing. But puffiness, especially around the eyes, when the skin is holding a lot of fluid, and even when the lymphatic system backs up, it's pretty powerful. And I've seen it happen very, very quickly.
I have too. And I think you mentioned just briefly here, the lymphatic system. That is so important to get that lymph draining and moving and not thick. And for so many people, the lymph is thick and it's going to cause puffiness in your face.
Yes.
You want plenty of water, hydration. I love that you brought up my recipe with kale and cucumber and lemon and ginger and the Granny Smith apple. Cucumber is wonderfully hydrating.
Yes.
It hydrates the body, gives you lots of juice, lots of water, silicone for your skin, excellent. The beta carotene in the kale and anything dark green, orange, yellow, whatever, has beta carotene. Excellent for your skin.
I have seen this do wonderful things for the digestive system in the process, especially with heartburn, reflux, and indigestion. Just almost immediately. And there's a satiety. If you could speak to that for a minute, because everybody now is saying, oh God, it's January, we got to drop some weight. So the side effect of looking great and eating the right kinds of nutrition, and especially juicing, is the weight's going to come off. Now, that being said, would you explain the satiety that you feel? I was amazed. You're just not nearly as hungry, and cravings seem to subside, and you're getting mega amounts of enzymes and nutrition, I know, in juice. But maybe you could explain that, because that was surprising to me.
Yes, it is surprising to a lot of people how their appetite is controlled so well by the juices. Here's what's happening. Juices are just chock full of nutrients, from vitamins, enzymes, biophotons, phytonutrients, antioxidants. That sends a signal to your brain that you're satisfied. When we are not getting all the nutrients we need, our brain keeps saying, I need more food. Yes. I need nutrients. Maybe you're missing magnesium or potassium or chromium or another trace mineral. And the body's saying, I can't complete the reactions I need to complete internally. So I'm going to tell you that I still need something. That translates to us, I'm hungry. Yes. And so you eat dinner, and maybe you didn't have the best dinner. And maybe an hour or two later, you're rumbling through your kitchen going, yes. I need something. I need a little something. What do I need? And we grab I don't, but some people grab a bowl of ice cream, a cookie, a piece of candy, something high in carbs, some crackers and cheese. That is not what your body is wanting. It is wanting nutrients. If you find yourself in that position after dinner, go make yourself a glass of juice. And I would almost guarantee that is going to cut right off. It's going to go right down.
Cherie, one of my favorite juices on the planet that you came up with, especially now, please talk about the Cranberry Pear Fat Burner.
I love that. That was the cover.
Awesome. In a martini glass.
Yes,
it's great.
World. They loved it too. And we did the Cranberry Fat Burner, and pear is in there, and cranberries. And if you can't find raw cranberries now, because we are a little past season, right? Some stores still have the raw ones, but get the frozen ones, thaw them out, put them through their juicer. If you can't find that or don't want to or whatever, get unsweetened cranberry juice and pour some in with your pear and cucumber mix. I love to add a little ginger and a little squeeze of lemon. Pardon me, my little schnauzer just got excited. If you can hear her barking, oh dear. So that is so good to cleanse the kidneys, to cleanse the whole body, and cranberries are excellent. And this is the time to start in on drinks like that to cleanse the kidneys, because we want to get rid of all of that excess stuff that collected through the holidays.
And the kidney is such an important eliminative organ. And I have seen more skin conditions that are kidney related, in my clinic many, many times. And the amount of elimination are how important it is for the kidneys to function properly, to be able to eliminate the waste that can back up if it's not and show on the skin. Very few people really understand how connected that is, to many skin disorders.
Oh, it is. And so we want to cleanse all the organs and systems of our body. From kidney and bladder, we want to cleanse the colon. Of course, I started with that because that is so important to get that channel of elimination open. When our liver starts dumping and our kidneys and bladder start dumping toxins, we want our colon free and clear as much as possible. And then the other organs and systems, we want to do the lymphatic cleanse. And I talk about all of this in my 30-day detox. And the skin and blood cleanse I love, because you really begin to notice a difference on your skin.
Tell us more about that, please.
That is with tinctures, primarily herbs. And I have an herbal tincture that's primarily designed for skin and blood, but also everything we're talking about is so important for the skin. So hydrating it and cleansing it with things like cucumber juice or cucumber and celery, and add some green apple to that and a little lemon to jazz it up a bit, and ginger, all of those things, and flushing your body and getting 8 to 10 glasses of purified water a day, or cucumber water, lemon water. things like that. And all of that working together really begins to cleanse the blood. But the one thing I love most of all as a blood purifier is wheatgrass juice. And I don't know if you can find that. We have people from all over the U.S. I see coming in, but many towns have juice bars. You can go get a shot or two of wheatgrass juice. I used to get it at Whole Foods when I lived in Santa Fe. I'd get my shot and go shopping afterward at Whole Foods. But if you can't find that, you can get the wheatgrass juice powder.
That's fabulous. I'd like to talk a little bit about inflammation and the role stress plays, because what I see when I'm working on skin in my clinic is how many skins are literally on fire. And whether it is from all of the digestive disorders we've talked about to improper skin care. And I see a chronic inflammatory condition on many people that really can develop into a fungal condition. I'll give you a few examples of some topical things. When we use very stripping products day in and day out, if we're using very acidic topicals, if we're using prescription Retin-A, in trying to smooth out and refine the skin, what can happen is that protective acid mantle on the surface of the skin can be ultimately destroyed, because those acidic products can break through, and it breaks that protective barrier from the environment that bacteria is able to get into the epidermal layers much deeper. And what I see is a chronic inflammatory condition, and it's treat and treat and treat with the people that I've seen have used many things to try to treat the redness, when the real root issue is actually candida and yeast on the surface of the skin. And we don't usually think about that. We think about candida and other parts of the body. And that's why matching ingredient to skin condition with your topical skincare treatments is as important as what we're putting in. You're talking about blood cleansers, things like burdock root, yellow dock. Many of the, root herbs in the herb world are great to help cleanse the liver and the blood. And those same ingredients can be used topically. We can use things like colloidal silver and comfrey root that are very healing and very soothing. So when you do match the ingredients topically and internally to these different skin conditions, results happen very quickly, but it's hard to understand how and why. And I've created my calming collection in Sunshine Botanicals, especially for that. For any type of itis or inflammatory skin condition, it has the herbs, algae, and herbal extracts that help heal that acid mantle and put the fire out to the skin.
Excellent. Well, I'm so glad you talked about yeast on the skin, which is something that very few people have heard about, even think about. But what I know from all the study about fungus and overgrowth of yeast, it's usually systemic. It's not just in the colon. It's throughout the body, and it's going to show up everywhere. And of course, it's going to show up on the skin. The skin is our largest organ of elimination. And so it's trying to slough all of this off. So that's, again, why I love it's called the yeast-free diet, or the Candida Care diet. It's gone by several names, but it's the same thing. You're getting yeast out of your diet, all gluten, all dairy, all sweets, all alcohol, and you're getting all the good things, lots and lots of vegetables, the wonderful vegetable juices like we've just named, and then lean proteins. And very low sugar fruit, like the berries are really great, the green apple, things like that. Pear is one of your lower sugar fruits. So you want to stay with a low sugar fruit. If you've got a serious candida overgrowth, even no fruit except for lemon and lime for a while until you start getting it under control.
Sugar feeds yeast, right?
Yeah, they love it.
And if you have candida, if you crave sugar, if you have a serious sugar craving, you might want to at least research the symptoms of candida, because it's staggering. And I've had clients on antidepressants for the depression and low moods that they have, and come to find out that yeast and candida is really the root cause, and the antidepressants are masking those symptoms. And talking about colon and digestive issues, we don't ever talk about that. And in fact, it doesn't get nearly enough time. And I think that our culture now has no idea what a normal bowel movement is or what it should be. We talk about everything but that. And it would stagger you to find out how many people, have eliminations every 3 or 4 days. And we, treat acne and, all the different blotchy skin conditions that go back to a congested colon and a stagnant liver, because the body's not able to process all of the waste that it backs up. It's like the plumbing in your house, and we need to open it up. And it's wild because now we can hear about colonics on the Kardashians. And when one of my clients said, when I was telling her about your juice and we were looking at a protocol for her skin and her body, and I recommended colonics because at my clinic we have a colon therapist. And she said, I heard about that on the Kardashians. What is a colonic? So we need to talk about flushing the system and just how very important that really is.
Oh, it's so extremely important. And oftentimes when I see sallow skin.
Yes, liver.
Yes, liver. And then the kind of a dull skin could be colon. Oh, what a difference it makes to get that colon cleansed out. I just had a colonic this week myself. We've been through a lot of traveling in the month of December, and that's very hard in the colon. Just all the differences of foods and water and, environment. So she was saying to me before she got into doing colonics and understanding health, she said, I used to have a bowel movement once every 3 or 4 days. And she said there were times once a month, I almost fell off my chair.
Yeah.
How did you even survive that?
Right.
It should be at least once a day, ideally 2 or 3 times a day, that we should have an elimination of our colon. So how do we get to the point where we heal that gut so we can have normal bowel movement? Mm-hmm. Colonics are a great start. And she was saying that to me, if things are kind of blocked and backed up, get in for a colonic because it's excellent to get things moving. And then we need a high fiber diet. And the highest fiber foods are your cruciferous vegetables, your broccoli and cauliflower and Brussels sprouts and kale. And also we need to get a lot of hydration. So the wonderful green juices, cucumber juice, like that, but all of your juices are beautiful, lots and lots of water, plenty of exercise, and we need to stop doing things that shock the colon. The first time I heard about that was from a naturopathic doctor, and she said there were some people actually at our retreat who all of a sudden got blocked up, and she said your colon may have gone into a bit of shock because you've made many drastic changes with your diet. This was all good, and she said we'll get it all calmed down and get it moving, but a lot of people are in colon shock, I think, a lot of their life because of all the nasty stuff they're eating. And the colon just gets dry. There are a lot of people have dry colon, dry stools. That's known as constipation. We need to hydrate, and we need to get everything going and moving. And we need extra vitamin C, and maybe you need to take extra magnesium. Those nutrients will definitely get your colon moving. There are, of course, all sorts of herbs. Some of them are more harsh than others. You can take the Smooth Move tea. That to me is like TNT. It really gets the colon moving. It's got some of the herbs that are a little more harsh, but if you're really stuck, then definitely do Smooth Move tea for maybe one time, one day or something to get things going. But never let yourself go day in and day out without getting that.
I think it's important to also give some time to how important raw foods, going back to the whole digestive thing. Obviously, juices in any food that is raw still has the live enzymes that your body is able to use to help digest. Whenever we eat cooked or prepared foods, the enzymes, you may still have the nutrients, but the enzymes are not there. And our bodies need enzymes so desperately, and good probiotics and digestive enzymes with meals for the average diet is critical. And if you go back and take care of that with some juicing, you probably won't even need a laxative type herb. Now, Cascara sagrada is another wonderful herb that is not extremely harsh, that is that's very helpful. But it's very important to understand that that's still treating symptoms, even with herbs, until you go back and get the digestive system functioning well, and try to include more raw foods in your diet. And it's easier to do, I think, in the spring and summer sometimes than in the winter months, which is why your digestive enzymes are so important. And I have learned how to simplify juicing. Do you know what I do? And I want to get your opinion on this. Since I feel so much better when I juice, the energy level, and especially when the body's eliminating waste, your energy, your color, and your skin is tighter when you juice. But I have a busy life, and I don't know how many of you out there, but I know some of my people that are watching have told me the same thing. How am I going to find the time to juice? How am I going to do this? Because if you buy the processed juices, they're nutrient deficient, and it's not the same as running everything through the juicer. So I have learned that you can freeze fresh juice. Mm-hmm. And what I will do is I will take a Sunday afternoon, for example, and I'll have all my veggies, and I will have a grand time and juice for the week. And I'll lay all of my little containers, and you can use there's some cool little containers you can put it in, but I will juice a week's worth of juice in one afternoon. I'll put it in the freezer, and the night before I leave for work the next morning, because I typically fly out the door, I've got a fresh glass of juice ready to go. So I can do a week's worth of juice in one afternoon and have a great time doing it. Just a thought in case it helps. How do you feel about that? I hope that's okay.
It's okay, and it's what I recommend to a lot of people who say, I can't juice every day. Yes. I just can't make it in the morning. And I've had a number of people that have health challenges too, where they don't feel well, and maybe somebody has to come in on the weekends and help them make their big batch of juice. So I have one lady that battled cancer. She's won now, but during her battle, she bought a whole bunch of those little mason jars at the hardware store, and she put juice in jar after jar and froze them, her whole week's worth.
Yes.
She froze in those little jars. She got well doing that.
Yes.
People ask me all the time, do you lose all your nutrients? Oh, no, you don't.
No.
You lose some, a little bit, but no, you don't lose them all.
Especially if you freeze it right away. But that's simplified juicing for me.
Yes, and for so many people. So give it a whirl. And you can refrigerate it too for about 24 hours. So I have people that say, can I make it the night before and then, have it in the morning for work? Absolutely, you can. So you can make your juice in the evening.
So do you have a lot of your recipes in the Anti-Inflammatory Diet? Can you tell us more about what's in your book?
I do. I have lots of recipes. So every day we start the day. It's a 28-day menu plan, first of all. That's anti-inflammatory, and I worked with an anti-inflammatory chef to create the recipes. So there's a juice or a green smoothie for each morning. And then there's sometimes there are breakfast recipes, and sometimes it's just a smoothie. And then, so that's throughout the book. And then the rest of it is lunches and dinners that are all anti-inflammatory, lots of salads, some raw food ideas, some great dips like a raw beet dip, on and on it goes. And then we've got some healthy desserts that are really made with fruit and good things for you. So I do encourage you to get the book. If you don't win, we have one winner that's going to get our lovely package from inside to outside.
Sunshine Botanicals and Cherie.
Mm-hmm. And here's my book, The Anti-Inflammatory Diet.
Awesome. Cherie, this has been fascinating, and I've just been told we're almost out of time, but I've got a couple more quick things. Let me check my notes here. Oh gosh. I could talk to you all day, and I feel like one of your ambassadors out here. It's really tremendous. Start your day, guys, with juicing, and you will have more energy. And besides, the word breakfast means to break a fast, and nothing is gentler on the body to break a fast than a fresh glass of organic juice. Wow. Looks like, we have one more minute. Cherie, thank you. This has been a real pleasure to talk to you tonight.
It's been so much fun. Thank you so much. I think we'll do this again for everybody that's wondering, will we ever get any information like this again? And I just want to encourage you, come to my website if you want to learn more about cleansing, from cleansing your gut and all the other organs and systems of elimination. I have the 30-day detox and the mini cleanse, which is the 7-day colon cleanse. Great place to start getting your system in shape from the inside out. Your skin will thank you for it so much.
That is awesome. Cherie, thank you. And for those of you that are new to the Skin Whisperer and Sunshine Botanicals, we're all about morphing herbal medicine into corrective skincare. And you can visit us at www.sunshinebotanicals.com. Be sure to like us on Facebook and Instagram. And we have a lot of exciting things coming out this year. And we're just really glad to meet all of you. Cherie, this has been a blast. We will draw for our winner after the program is over. And we will announce on both of our Facebook pages tomorrow morning who has won this almost $200 package of products. Folks, thank you. It's been a pleasure. Have a great night. Thanks, Cherie.